What's going on, Pixel Hackers? Christian Lovrecich from PixlFeed here. In this video, we're going to talk about what is the difference between Facebook ads and Google ads. But before we get started, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right in. So this is a question that I get asked all the time. Christian, what is the difference between Facebook ads and Google ads? And what should I do? Which one's better for my business? Or, which ones are cheaper or which ones are not? So it really depends. I'm more biased towards Facebook depending on the business because that's what I do, that's what I specialize in. And then I have somebody in my team that specializes on Google ads, and he's a badass. So, he can handle his own when it comes to Google ads. So the main difference I'm gonna tell you right off the bat is intent. And what do I mean by that? Intent. All right, you gotta think about it this way. The best example that I can think of is think about it this way. If you're in your house, right, and you're chilling, you're having a good time, whatever, watching TV, and all of a sudden it gets flooded, a pipe burst in the middle of the night, what are you going to do? All right, we don't have yellow pages anymore. I think we do, but who uses that anymore? Your first instinct is gonna be to go to Google on your phone and look for a plumber right away. It's not Facebook. So think about it this way. People are going in Google actively seeking and searching for a solution for whatever they're looking for, or they're searching for a specific product at that very moment, okay? When people are on Facebook, they're scrolling through their feed, they're looking at what their friends are doing, they're reading articles, they're looking at pictures, they're doing that. So when you put an ad in front of them, you're essentially interrupting their day and catching their attention. Now, the advantage that Facebook has is that they have tons and tons and tons of amazing data, behavioral data and interest, because they've been harvesting that data for so long, right? So how do they do it differently? Well, there's, each of them do it a little bit differently. So Google uses keywords, okay? And Facebook uses interest and behavioral data. And Facebook has a huge advantage here because you can get super granular. What do I mean by that? When you're using keywords, you use positive keywords and negative keywords. Positive, and that's how you try to target your audience based on what they're searching, based on the keywords that they're searching, right? So if they're looking for a plumber, it's like local plumber in X, right? While on Facebook, it's by interest and behavioral data, meaning if I'm looking for somebody that's into football, right, and it's in the age range of 35 to 45, right, who also, plays football on the weekends or something like that. It's behavioral data, like sports, plays sports, right? You can combine all those interests together and it makes it very, very powerful. For example, another example that I like to use for interest and behavioral data is, I like people, I can target, females between 35 to 54 that like dogs, but specifically German Shepherds. Facebook has all that data, and you can combine and compile all that data. When it comes to Google, if you were going to target the same type of person, you can target them, but you got to use keywords like based on the dog and all that stuff. And I just think, that Facebook is a lot more powerful when it comes to that. The other advantage, the next one's going to be visuals. Okay, when you go to Google, right, you only get a little piece of text that you can use as your ad. So you got to get them with a hook and a headline right away, and you only have like a few characters to describe what you want, right? The advantage that you have here with Facebook is that you have so many options. You can do video, you can do images, you can do carousel ads. You can do, carousel ads are like the catalog ads that show up in your feed for the products that you looked at. That's a carousel ad. You can also use collection ads, for when you click on it, it literally opens the page, your website, right underneath the video that you're playing or the ad that you're playing. So you can get a lot more creative. You can actually show off your product. You can do what's called, what I like to use in my ads, it's called a pattern interrupt, where you stop the scroll and you catch their attention. Facebook already knows to serve that ad to that person based on the interest and the behavioral data, so they know they're most likely to convert to whatever your whatever your objective is. If it's a purchase, an add to cart, or a lead, Facebook's gonna put that ad in front of that person, and if you use beautiful creative that creates a pattern interrupt, or that matches with what they're looking for, they're gonna stop the scroll and they're gonna be interested in clicking over. So you can get a little more creative with your products. You can tell a story. You can make it look cool, right? You can, if for example, like some of my brands, if I'm targeting an older demographic, I use an older person in the ad itself. If I'm targeting a younger demographic, and then I use a younger person in the ad itself. So it mirrors the person that I'm looking for while they're scrolling through the feed. The other thing fourth, I would say, by far, even though the costs have gone up for Facebook ads and they go up year over year, I still see Facebook being cheaper than Google when it comes to ads. I've seen some keywords out there that are like $23 a click or something crazy like that. And people are like, well, Facebook ads can be expensive too, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but there's a difference between $23 a click when I can run a traffic campaign that's for like cents on the dollar. You know what I mean? Because a click on Google, it doesn't mean you're gonna get the purchase either. So it's like, what's gonna happen here, right? That's the other one. So when it comes to both platforms, this is what I tell people. It all comes down to your budget, because there's no reason to prefer one over the other. It's about using both to your advantage, right? So what I like to do is, there's certain products that are not specifically made for Facebook, right? Like I said, the plumber, okay? I guess you could make a plumber work on Facebook if you're trying to sell like a preventive package for their heater, not, a heater preventive, maintenance package for the winter so it doesn't blow up on you or whatever. You can sell it that way, but it's gonna be successful? Probably not. But what about if you do it this way? What about if you create that ad on Google when people are actively seeking for like busted pipe, house flooding? Call us right now. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then if for some reason they go to your landlord, they go to your funnel and they don't convert right away, then you run some retargeting ads on the Facebook side that's always in front of them. So you can combine both platforms, and have them feed off each other. Don't get in this mindset that, because Facebook ads, so because you prefer Facebook ads, you should only do Facebook ads. You should always, always, always be thinking of ways where you can combine all platforms together. So the judgment, I don't think one's better than the other. I think that each of them have a different purpose. And then if you have the budget, once you start growing, you should combine both of them depending on the goals that you're trying to achieve. All right, I hope that answers your question between the two. And guys, as always, if you want to support the channel, please click the links in the description below. And if you want to keep learning about Facebook ads and digital media in general, make sure to click one of the boxes above me, and I will see you guys in the next video.